We tend to think that creativity is something that people either have or they don't have. And that's really one of the long-held myths of creativity, that creativity is only for great artists or it's only for really special people. It's only for the Albert Einsteins out there. But it's really just about the willingness and ability to think in ways that can produce things that are novel in some way, relatively speaking, and effective. That means they're somewhat new, somewhat original, somewhat fresh, and they have value, they work well, they're effective in whatever situation that you're working and thinking in. My research interest really focuses on creativity very broadly in education. However, I'm specifically more interested in creativity among excellent teachers and what teachers do that really works well in the classroom as far as creativity, creative thinking, and how that can help their students develop and grow. As I've kind of looked at what teachers do who are really excellent in the classroom, an interesting thing that I found is that they tend to do things that we already sort of associate with excellent teaching. If we go back to some of the classic foundations of educational psychology, connecting learning to the real world, finding ways to help students see what's relevant in the ideas that they're learning and how they relate to their real world, making cross-disciplinary connections. So if you're teaching math, maybe you find connections to music or the arts. If you're teaching science, maybe you bring in some more social connections and think about the social nature of science in our world. And also, I think this idea of intellectual risk-taking is really important in creativity across the board. And all the classic psychology research that was done in the 20th century when creativity first became an area of interest sort of focused on just these thinking skills for creativity and what really creative people do. And one of the things that comes up again and again is this idea of openness to experience and the willingness to try new things or take intellectual risks. And I found that as well is the case with creative teachers. And that risk-taking doesn't have to be anything scary or intimidating or anything like vastly shaking up your classroom, but just sort of this openness to trying new things, which can be actually a little scary and intimidating, especially in the current educational climate of testing standards, that kind of thing. But it's so critical that if you want to be able to do anything creative, something new, effective, unique, or different for your classroom, you really have to sort of cultivate that.